Imagine the moment the heavy anchor you've been dragging across the seabed of your existence finally snaps. It isn't an act of surrender or a sign of exhaustion, but a profound awakening to a reality you were previously too distracted to notice. Most assume this epiphany strikes in the roaring 30s or the reflective 50s, but the true liberation often waits until the seventh decade. Around 70, a silent metamorphosis takes hold. It doesn't scream for attention. It simply settles in like a soft dawn, where the frantic urgencies of your youth begin to dissolve into irrelevance. The static of the world dials down, the phantom pressures evaporate, and for the first time in an epoch, your spirit feels buoyant. This is a narrative of loss, but a masterclass in clarity. The most vibrant souls in their 70s aren't those who clung to their hoarded concerns, but those who master the art of the gentle release. Today, we're exploring 7 invisible weights that lose their gravity after 70, and why letting them drift away might be your most revolutionary act yet. Let's dive in. First, we shed the exhausting theater of social validation. For decades, we are the architect of our own prisons, building lives designed to look impressive to neighbors we barely know, or critics who don't even exist. We curate our words, our wardrobes, and our wins to fit a mold. But at 70, the curtain falls. You realize the audience was always too preoccupied with their own lines to notice yours. You stop asking, will they applaud? And start asking, does this nourish my soul? This shift is the ultimate sovereignty. Second, we retire from the courtroom of being right. There was a season where a victory in an argument felt like a trophy. We'd sharpen our logic and demand the last word. But eventually, you see the hollow truth. Winning an argument is often a lonely triumph that builds walls where bridges should be. After 70, peace becomes your highest currency. You learn that silence isn't a sign of weakness, but a fortress of strength, because you no longer require a witness to your wisdom. Third, we stop trying to edit the past. We all have that internal director's cut. The scenes we wish we'd shot differently, the lines we should have delivered. But age grants a panoramic view. You see that the past is a closed book, not a draft in progress. You stop mourning the what-ifs and start honoring the what-is. Your life wasn't meant to be a polished diamond. It was meant to be a lived-in, weathered masterpiece, where every crack tells a story of survival. Fourth, the facade of success loses its luster. We spend years maintaining the armor of a nice life, the prestige symbols and the pristine edges. But after 70, the illusion cracks, and it's a relief. You find that comfort is more prestigious than any label, and tranquility is the only true luxury. You stop chasing the sheen and start embracing the soul of your surroundings, realizing that genuine elegance is found in the quiet simplicity of a life that doesn't need to explain itself. Fifth, the desperate, yes, finally dies. We spent half a century trying to be the person everyone could rely on, fearing that a no would be a bridge burned. It was a marathon of emotional labor. But at 70, you realize that your peace isn't a public commodity. You set boundaries not out of bitterness, but out of a deep self-stewardship. You learn that no is a complete sentence, and the beauty of it is that the people who remain are the ones who truly matter. 6. The specter of solitude transforms. We spend our lives filling the silence with noise and the rooms with bodies, terrified of the echo. But the 70s reveal a secret. Being alone is not a void, it's a sanctuary. You stop viewing solitude as a symptom of being forgotten and start seeing it as a luxury of being found. You finally enjoy your own companionship, realizing that there is a massive difference between the ache of loneliness and the fullness of being alone. Finally, we drop the heavy stones of ancient grudges. We carry old betrayals like holy relics, re-examining the pain until it defines us. But time eventually shows you the tax you're paying for that bitterness. It doesn't hurt the person who wronged you. It only rusts your own heart. Letting go isn't a gift to them. It's an eviction notice for the resentment living rent-free in your head. You forgive to breathe again. The truth is, life doesn't get heavier as the years pass. It gets more transparent. The static drops away, and what's left is the gold. But that brilliance only shines if you're willing to unclench your fists, release the pressure, the scripts, and the labels. The people who truly glow in their twilight years aren't the ones who kept the most. They're the ones who knew exactly what was never worth carrying in the first place. So, tell me, what's one thing you finally stopped carrying? Let's talk in the comments. Your insight might be the light someone else is looking for. If this hit home, hit like and share this with a friend who needs a lighter load today. Because sometimes the bravest move you can make is simply letting go